Hello there, Atheist Junior here, your friend and humble narrator. And today I'm going to be looking at the cases, or the case that, well, I'm going to be looking at some different cases. First off, Kent Hovind's 2007 case, the U.S. government versus Kent, where he went to jail. And then Kent went to jail, and then he got out, and then he filed this $500 million lawsuit against the United States government. And then he got out, and then and recently, the case has been dismissed by the judge, so it's been thrown out. After all this hemming and hawing by Kent, back and forth over years, like this has been years in the making, just back and forth, and it got thrown out by the judge because it was an obvious waste of time. One second, I'm just hooking up my headphones, y'all. Let me know in the chat if the audio is okay. Oh, look at me. I'm like Kent Hovind with the technical difficulties. So the first case we're going to look at is going to be the OG Hovind case. So I'm just going to share my screen. And tell me if y'all can see that text or if I need to make it any bigger. I can zoom in a little bit. I think that's better. Yeah, how's that? So, yeah, the first case we're going to look at is when Kent had 57 counts of structuring. So you guys can see it. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Dave in the chat. Origami Rhino, Vaughn Wayne, Bertus. Wow, my audio is good on the first try. That's amazing. All right, I'm pumped. Okay, let's do this, guys. Okay, so United States versus Hovind. This is 2008. Long time ago. So the reason that I like this site in particular, because there's a lot of websites where you can look at the documents from the OG US versus Hovind case, but this one summarizes it really well without all the legal jargon. So I'm just going to read this. The Hovinds owned and operated CSE, which sold videos and literature, provided lecture services, and hosted live debates. Between 1999 and 2003, the Hovinds withdrew from AM South Bank over $1.5 million in increments less than $10,000 to avoid federal filing requirements. Company documents and records of the transactions established that Joe controlled the finances of Evangelism Enterprises and controlled most of the checks that were cashed. Kent, who oversaw payroll and related federal tax obligations, failed to withhold or pay quarterly federal withholding taxes or file related documents with the IRS between 2001 and 2003. The Hovinds were charged in a 58-count indictment. Kent was charged in the first 12 counts of the indictment for willfully failing to deduct and pay federal income and withholding taxes for employees of Evangelism Enterprises. Damn, that's a hard word to say. The Hovinds were charged in the next 45 counts for structuring cash withdrawals to avoid financial reporting requirements. Hit like, please. Do I consider myself obsessed with Kent Hovind? No, although if somebody went onto my channel and saw the amount of videos that I've done about Hovind, I guess I couldn't blame them for coming to that conclusion. Like, I was watching my debate with Kent earlier today, and I was looking at the live chat, and it was on the one that's hosted on Kent Hovind's channel, and the live chat was just ridiculous. And somebody in the live chat said that I was obsessed with Kent, and also there were some very nice troll comments, people saying to brigade my channel and downvote my videos, and saying that I lost and all that stuff. Lots of fun, but obsessed? No, I mean, I've actually been making less videos about Kent than I have when I first started my channel. Like Dave knows, I used to post like nothing but videos about Kent, but lately I've been doing interviews on my channel. I've made videos about Matt Powell. I've let's see, I'm gonna go to my channel real quick just because this guy is triggering me. I'm just kidding. So I've made a video with Amy Newman. I talked to Mr. Batman. I did a stream about Pride Month that had nothing to do with Kent Hovind. Well, Kent was in one clip of it, but he was featured with other theists. I did a debate with Nephilim Free. I did a response to Braxton Hunter. I talked to Gutsick Gibbon, aka Erica. I did a video with Speed of Sound, Answers in Atheism. Video about open mic with Randolph. Video with Snake Was Right and Oz from the Atheist Roundtable. So no, I think that I've had a fairly good variety of content on my channel recently. But yeah, like Dave could tell you, back in the day, like it was so long ago, but me and Dave, I remember when I was trying to catch up to him in subs, and we were just posting nothing but Hovind meme videos. But anyway, okay, I think you're a bright and insightful person. Thank you. But sometimes it feels like you spend a gratuitous amount of time making content bashing Hovind. Just my 2 cents. Well, that's fair, but this is the type of content that my patrons want to see, and I am nothing but a dancing monkey that you can throw coins at, and I'll do what you want. Okay. Kent was charged in the last count of the indictment for obstructing the administration of internal revenue laws. The indictment also included a provision for forfeiture by the Hovinds of any and all property. Blah, blah, blah. The Hovinds were found guilty of all charges. The jury found that $430,000 and $430,400. Sorry, y'all. I went to public school in Texas. Y'all have to excuse me. Was involved in or traceable to the financial reporting crimes. Separate. Okay. Oh man. What was really funny is I was reading these documents earlier today, and I saw that based on the charges against Kent, he was actually sentenced. He could have been sentenced to a maximum of like 231 years in jail. Like, it was ridiculous. So the court sentenced Kent to 120 months of imprisonment. Damn. And ordered Kent to pay $600,000. Okay, so the next article I'm going to look at, yeah, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, so in my opinion, Kent Hovind, I don't think that he deserved to do a decade in jail. I definitely don't think that his wife, Jo Hovind, should have ever seen the inside of a jail cell. However, Kent refused to cooperate with the IRS, with the judge, with the court system. The entire time, he refused to admit any wrongdoing, and he kept saying that he didn't know what he was being charged with, and that nobody had told him what he was being charged with. So he basically got the maximum sentence. And the reason that his wife, Jo, did a year in jail when she never should have is because Kent, again, didn't cooperate. And I'm going to show you right now the 45 counts of structuring. And I think what's very telling and what shows that Kent knew that he was doing something illegal was the fact that all of the structured withdrawals are in Joe Hovind's name. And we know how controlling Kent is with money and how he treats women. And the fact that he didn't go and make those withdrawals himself when their withdrawals of $9,500 shows that he thought maybe he could get away with it if he made her do it, which is a scumbag thing to do. Okay, so so the first charges are, we're going to look at the failure to withhold income taxes for his employees first, the FICA taxes. I'm just going to go through this real quick. So Kent Hovind was the person responsible for collecting and paying over federal income tax and FICA tax for CSE, and who during the quarters of the tax year specified below did willfully fail to deduct, collect, truthfully account for, and pay over to the IRS federal income tax from the total taxable wages of CSE employees. So what's really nasty about this charge is that he's supposed to withhold these taxes. Basically, what he was supposed to do was pay his employees because they were employees. Kent Hovind had a time clock where the people would come in and had to punch their time card. They had vacation days. He paid money for dental insurance to his employees. So he tried to say that they were missionaries and that they were volunteers, but they were 100% employees, and Kent treated them like so. But he paid them cash under the table. That's why he made the structured withdrawals every 2 weeks or so, was because he was paying his employees cash. So that shows how the two crimes are connected. See, Kent will always say, oh, they sent me to jail for structuring, but he never mentions the failure to withhold FICA taxes for his employees. He never mentions that part, so it's a lie by omission. Because when you just say that it's structuring, it's, I was taking money out of my own bank account, blah, blah, blah. But no. So we have every single quarter that he was supposed to do it is its own charge, which is brutal. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you can see here how it just adds up. And so counts 13 through 57 are the structuring. And I want you to pay attention here to the amount withdrawn. Now, structuring is when you willfully make your cash withdrawals under $10,000 to avoid the reporting requirement. Because when you withdraw money from your bank account and it's over $10,000, they'll report it to the IRS. And if it's a high enough amount, it can actually put you in a higher tax bracket. And so you have to pay more income tax, because that's what happened when I bought my new car. We took the money out, and so we could just buy it in all at once in one lump sum. And it was over $10,000. And, that bumped us up in the tax bracket. And, we had to fill out the form and everything. But Kent has this bizarre description of structuring where he says that it has to be 2 withdrawals in the same day that are over $10,000 combined, and that structuring only applies to drug dealers or something. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So you can see July 20th. So 3 times in the month of July. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times in the month of August. And look at that. They withdrew money on 9/11, and 5 times in the month of September. So I'm terrible at math, so I'm just going to use my calculator, but let's see. Maybe somebody in the chat can beat me to this, but 9,500 times 5, that's almost $50,000 in 1 month. And it's just every time it's 9,500, 9,500, 9,500. And so we have October 4th, and then let's see, about a week later, another withdrawal. Then about 7 to 9 days later, another withdrawal. Then and then in November, December, January. You see January 11th, and then 1 week later. You see how these are spaced out by the week? That's because he was either paying his employees every week or every other week. But you can see every time it's just under 10,000. So this is 45 counts of structuring. And the rest of this stuff is just Kent doing a bunch of, yeah, sorry about the math, guys. Does Kent still not consider himself an American citizen? Yes, that's very important. Kent, he may not admit this, but Kent and his first wife, Jo Hovind, filled out a form claiming themselves to not be citizens of the United States. So Kent Hovind is what's called a sovereign citizen. And we're going to get into this in a little bit because it's ridiculous. Basically, he thinks that, try to wrap your mind around this, okay? So Kent Hovind is a sovereign citizen, even if he doesn't admit it. And so he thinks that when he was living in Florida and the original CSE, he was not a U.S. citizen, and the government did not have jurisdiction of where he lived. So he's not a U.S. citizen, but he files a $500 million lawsuit against the government, claiming that a bunch of his rights have been violated, like from the Bill of Rights. So he claims his constitutional rights have been violated, even though he's not a U.S. citizen. I don't know. So these are just a bunch of Kent basically harassing the IRS. He had the IRS came and took some of his cars, and Joe Sweet told him that if you file bankruptcy, that the IRS will give you the cars back. I don't know why Kent believed this, but so he filed a false bankruptcy, and it got thrown out because it was obviously fake. So Kent claims that, I sent a bunch of letters to the IRS asking them, what do you want me to do? And, they never wrote me back, and they just showed up. They showed up at my house with a SWAT team. But that's not true, because an IRS agent came to Kent Hovind's property and tried to talk to him. And Kent got all pissed and said the guy was trespassing. And then he filed a lawsuit against the IRS agent where he demanded damages for criminal trespass and executing a false search warrant. Complaint against the IRS special agent and the commissioner, making threats of harm to the IRS agents investigating him, basically praying for God to smite them, false complaints, criminal complaints, destroying records, and hiding property, and paying his employees in cash and labeling them missionaries rather than employees to avoid payroll tax and FICA taxes. So criminal forfeiture, Okay, on November 2nd, 2006, Hovind and his wife Jo were found guilty by a jury on all counts. Okay, here it is. Kent was sentenced to 10 years in prison, 3 years of probation, and $64,000 in restitution. He had previously been ordered to forfeit $400,000 and faced a maximum of 288 years in prison. Isn't that amazing? Okay. So fast forward to, let's see, to 2020. So fast forward to 2020. And Kent Hovind, along with Paul Hansen, who I believe was Kent Hovind's cellmate and is his quote-unquote lawyer, his legal counsel, him and which video is that, Dave? Do you have that video I was asking you about, where I was watching one of your videos where it was Kent Hovind doing one of his children's videos, and it was like the video where people were like, it was black and white footage of people being racist. Yeah, vitamin B17. I wonder if Kent still takes vitamin B17. I guess we can only hope. Okay, so Kent Hovind and Paul Hansen they filed a civil rights complaint against the United States of America, the judge, Margaret Catherine Rogers, the estate of John David Roy Atchison. So this guy is not even alive anymore. And this guy literally was not assigned to Kent's case. He was not part of Kent Hovind's case. But Kent has routinely smeared this guy, and he's dead because I think this guy worked for the IRS, and Kent has said that the guy who prosecuted me, he after he took the CSE bank account, he went to try and like molest a young girl or something and got arrested, and then he committed suicide in jail. Which I think that's true. I know that he did commit suicide in jail, and Kent Hovind has literally been on video where he's brought up the anniversary of this guy's death and basically celebrated it, because what he tried to do is say, oh, look at the people who were prosecuting me, look how bad they are. But this guy was not assigned to Kent's case, and he's still slandering this guy even though he's dead. It's ridiculous. Okay, so Michelle Heldmeyer, yeah, I think I'm not sure who that is, but I think that might be an IRS agent. Scott Schneider was the head of the IRS, I think, that was prosecuting Kent. And Alan Stewart Ritchie was Kent Hovind's attorney during the case. So Kent Hovind is also trying to sue his attorney for some reason, I guess because he didn't do a good job. So Kent Hovind's complaint is that his 1st, 4th, 5th, 6th, 9th, 10th, 13th, and 14th amendments were violated. And it's either the 13th or 14th Amendment, but one of those is about that the U.S. cannot enslave you. So Kent Hovind is literally claiming that the U.S. government tried to enslave him. Like it comes up later. It comes up later in this. You'll see. He thinks that, I guess, the government trying to make him pay income taxes is akin to slavery. So this shit is long, so I'm gonna try to hit the high points, because this thing is 57 pages long. So basically, he's saying that he's listing the amendments, search and seizure, blah blah blah, grand jury, speedy and public trial. Okay, Amendment 13. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the U.S. So Kent is claiming that he's been enslaved by the government because they tried to make him pay taxes. All right. This shit is so badly written. It's just, yeah, so this is a bunch of the sovereign citizen crap trying to say that, okay, the imposing of the United States written law in land that is not evidenced of as being land of the United States, as defined in Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 17, Constitution for the United States of America. So what this is saying is that the U.S. government does not have jurisdiction over Pensacola, Florida. And this is a common sovereign citizen argument. So much so that it actually has an article on Snopes.com. The U.S. Constitution doesn't prevent the federal government from holding the title to any real property without state consent. So, Kent was saying that he being required to collect payroll taxes from his employees for the government was akin to slavery. It's something like that. I think he's saying that it's the IRS's job to collect taxes, and him collecting the FICA taxes from his employees and paying them to the IRS is him doing their job for them. So it's like slavery or indentured servitude. I don't know. Bob Sadler, you and your colorful comments, Bob Sadler, but I enjoy them. You do you. Okay. No, I don't want to donate. Oh. Okay. The claim. Okay, this claim says that the U.S. Constitution holds that the federal government shall never own title to any real property which... What? Oh, God. See, you see what happens when I try to close the ad? Real property which is not specifically authorized by this Constitution, such as parks, forests, dams, waterways, and grazing areas without the consent of the state where same is located. A number of people believe that this says blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. Okay, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square. So basically what this claim says is that the government's jurisdiction is only in Washington, D.C., and it's a big fat false. This is not true. And this is literally the crux of Kent Hovind's argument. So I'm going to scroll down here to where it just explains how this is nonsense. Yeah, so this goes all the way back to when they were trying to make the nation's capital Washington, D.C., and they were going to make the federal district no more than 10 miles square from land ceded to one or more states to house the U.S. national capital. So this doesn't say that that's the only area where the government has jurisdiction. So it's bullshit, basically. So right there, his whole argument is false. Like you're basically done right there. But let's keep going. Yeah, as to CSE workers, CSE forced by threat, armed robbery, and being forced to unlock the CSE safe. Yeah. So Kent complains that a SWAT team came to his house, and I'm sure that armed police did show up to Kent Hovind's house. And I think that that's justified. And the reason why is that Kent Hovind had done lots and lots of speeches where he had talked about owning guns and basically, oh, if you come into my house and try to hurt my family or take my property, I'm going to shoot you. And I know that the people who prosecuted Kent Hovind had seen the tapes and materials that he made because they watched them to learn about his income tax avoidance videos. Like he had a DVD he sold called Redeeming the Straw Man that was about not paying income tax. Yep. Kent Hovind literally makes no new arguments. Kent says that he works hard on his PowerPoints, like when he was doing a Whack an Atheist on Aaron Ra, and Aaron said that he works hard and Kent has an easy job. Kent got all mad and he said, "Oh, I work hard on my PowerPoints." But Kent never makes new PowerPoint slides. When he debated me, he used all the same PowerPoint slides that he's always used. It was just a rehash. Hey, oh, Dave, the first video you linked, was that the video where Kent Hovind was calling out Eric directly? Do you have that video? Is that the one you linked? Because I have people in my comment section asking for that. So, Bob Sadler, does he make his own what? Thank you. I take a lot of pride in my Kent Hovind impression. All right. Yeah, paste that link in the chat. I can't share video because my computer is a $100 Chromebook with no RAM. So, all right, let's keep scrolling. Yeah. So, and workers of CSE intentional offensive contact police brutality against Joe Hovind as they arrested her at gunpoint at 7:30 a.m. in her nightgown and refused to give her an opportunity to change her clothing. Yeah, when you get arrested, they take you to jail in the clothes that you're wearing. That's part of getting arrested. Like, I'm sorry, but they're not going to let you go off to the bathroom by yourself, you know? Yeah, this stuff, a lot of this is repeated, so I'm just going to try and get to the actual claims. Okay, yeah, so Michelle Heldmeyer, okay, U.S. Attorney, see, Rory Atchison was U.S. Attorney, didn't even prosecute Kent, and Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. July 13th, 2006 at 7:30 a.m., after CSE was operating with no known legal nexus of the U.S., a SWAT team led by the United States of America federal agents representing themselves as acting officially in official uniform, so I guess Kent doesn't think they're official, consisting of more than 20 individuals, all brandishing United States of America issued assault rifles, surrounded the house with a post address 29 Cummings Road, haha, Cummings, where Hovind and his wife were sleeping, which was property owned by CSE Trust Ministry. Then on the same morning, the same armed U.S. agents went to all surrounding ministry property and arrested all ministry workers, numbering 35. The arrested were then separated and then interrogated for up to 6 hours. Hey, they're lucky. How if they were arrested, then what do you mean? Because they didn't even go to jail. An indictment. Blah blah blah. Like, why is he listing this stuff? The case ended with Hovind being found guilty of all charges, ending in sentencing Hovind. And there's a typo right here. Yeah, why, I don't know why he's listing all of this. It's like we know. Okay, look at this. This is interesting. Okay, in the year of okay, are you paying attention, chat? In the year of 2004, CSE revenue was approximately $2 million. 2000, and I don't know if you guys have seen my video responding to Kent Hovind's Whack an Atheist on R and Raw, which has 2,000 views, by the way. But in that video, Kent Hovind looks up R and Raw on one of those like famous birthdays websites that gets all of Arn's info wrong, and it says that Arn is a YouTube celebrity who makes between $1 and $5 million. And he's like, "Oh, I enjoy spending your $5 million, Arn." You're like, but Arn doesn't make that much money. But Kent actually did. 2005, CSE revenue was approximately $2.2 million. 2006, CSE revenue was approximately $2,500,000. So that's that's like almost $7 million in 3 years. That's crazy. Like, this is because Kent wasn't paying income tax for one thing, but still, like, yeah. Lies of the Devil is great. Theo, I have an interview with him on my channel. Also, I found a really great website today that's very similar to that. Yes, I'm willing to accept that Dr. Josh has the best Hovind impression, but I'll accept that I have the silver medal. I think that's fair, because I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, Dr. Josh has the best Hovind impression. I was like, damn it, I should have that title, but I can accept second place because I have a lot of respect for Digital Hammurabi. So let me see if I can find the name of this website real quick, because it's called Creation something, and it was really good. I was reading it earlier. Let me just find this real quick. creationliberty.com. Oh, some impressions of Kent Hovind. Look, the SWAT team came to my house. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to what does he say? Good evening, Kent Hovind here at Dinosaur Adventureland, and we believe evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous theory religion in the entire world, and those are the nice things we say about it, okay? So I'm trying to build my shitty new church, okay, and I need people to come help me, but if you have diabetes, okay, I'm going to kick you out. Hovind, diabetes? Yeah, Erica does great impressions, period. Her impression of LPP, amazing. Better than mine. Her impression of Kent is good, I mean, everybody has a Kent Hovind impression, that's serviceable. But I've heard her do some amazing impressions. She's really funny. Yeah, I agree. If you became an atheist because Kent Hovind is so bad, then that's a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna try and finish reading this crap. Okay, to this day, CSE does not operate due to fear imposed by Catherine Rogers' orders. I'm sorry, that's a blatant lie. Yeah. Okay, this part is funny. CSE leader Hovind was generally invited to speak at approximately 30. I'm gonna zoom in. 30 churches worldwide weekly on the average in 2006, but in 2020 it is zero. That sentence did not make sense. Hovind is striving daily to regain his and like ministries popularity since his release on August 7th, 2015. Hovind, soon after being greeted at home to a notice of divorce, forced removal by his own son with aid of police to get off the once CSE ministry land, ending with close to full separation from all his family members and immediate family, including his beloved 5 grandchildren. This is the most dramatic court document I've ever read. I can't believe he listed all this crap as if this is all the fault of the court. And it's like, even if it is the fault of you getting arrested, whose fault was it that you got arrested? To quote the movie Liar Liar, stop breaking the law, asshole. Okay. I'm just skipping over a lot of this stuff because it's just repeating. Okay, these are Hovind saying that these are the claims of the court, blah blah blah. So I'm just going to skip this because this is all we've already read this, blah 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 blah. Okay, this is literally repeating the same thing that it just said. This is such a poorly written legal document. Oh my god. And again, I swear to God, this is repeating the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know why. Again, this is the same thing the 4th time. 5th time. 6th time. Like, okay, like look at this first paragraph. Hovind or CSE had a legal duty to be employed in collecting taxes, keeping account. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Oh, did it finally end? Oh my god. It just never ends. Okay, I shouldn't skip past all these because some of these are really funny. Uh-oh. Oops. Whoopsie. Okay. I lost my place. Damn it, Hovind. Got sick Gibbon? Oh, yes. We love Erica on this channel. If you haven't seen my interview with her, go check it out. Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is what I was looking for. Did I lose it? I just saw it. Okay, here it goes. So Richie, when he talks about Richie, that's his attorney. So specifically, Richie actively participated in or personally allowed misconduct in terms of abusing select people who are deemed in conflict, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Said misconduct was motivated by adverse political animus and constituted purposeful discrimination and religious persecution. It also affects the masses by show of blast imprisonment in a grossly disproportionate manner vis-a-vis sending a message to all observing Americans, just as practiced in communist China. The nail that sticks up gets hammered down. What the fuck is he talking about? Richie was Kent's attorney. Like, why is this an illegal document? This is so ridiculous. Why is he talking about communist China? Someday Kent Hovind will get arrested. Honestly, with the video that I put up on my channel today, talking about another injury at DAL that could have been much worse, and all of the injuries that have happened at DAL, just based on the kid, the 7-year-old that drowned alone, if that parent was not sucking up to Kent, he could absolutely sue Kent for negligence, because it doesn't matter that Kent says, oh, come in at your own risk, we don't insure people, because if you have an open water area where you intend for people to be able to swim, and you don't have a lifeguard posted, you don't have proper signage, you don't have supervision, he could absolutely get sued. Is it worth it to visit DAL? Do not visit DAL, because it's dangerous there. And if you visit DAL, Kent Hovind is just going to put you to work, and he's going to put you to work in a very hazardous situation on a construction site where he's haphazardly doing construction and he's rushing it as fast as he can. Like in the new video I put out, this douchebag, Alec Cox, he's a theist, and he went to CSE, and he saw that Kent Hovind has been trying to build a new building that looks like a church, that has like a church steeple on top, for his room where he films his videos. And he said that the building doesn't have any foundation, and it's going to be broken down in 5 years, and that the work on it is shoddy. Kent Hovind says that he knows how to do construction, but he has no idea. He doesn't know how to do construction. That's why in every single video he's like, oh, we need a plumber, we need an electrician, we need somebody to do drywall. I can do all those things, but I'm so busy. Hovind, busy. Okay. Well, so basically, I'm just going to summarize what's in this court case. Basically, Kent is saying that the U.S. government didn't have jurisdiction when they basically tried to say that CSE was not withholding FICA taxes, and they didn't have jurisdiction to say that Hovind was guilty of structuring because he wasn't living in the United States, and the U.S. didn't have jurisdiction anyway. And basically, he thinks that all of the charges are null and void because the U.S. didn't have jurisdiction because of a loophole in the Constitution. And that's all bullshit. Okay, so let's skip ahead to the order from the judge. Okay, this is real short. This case is before the court based on magistrate judge's report and recommendation and plaintiff's objections. The court reviewed the issues raised in the objections de novo, and based on that review, the court agrees with the magistrate judge's determination that this case is due to be dismissed for reasons articulated in the report. Indeed, the objections demonstrate the frivolous and delusional nature of this suit, when, among other things, they assert that plaintiff Hovind and his ministry were beyond the jurisdiction of the United States, and that the obligation to pay income taxes is tantamount to being conscripted into involuntary servitude as a tax collector for the United States. This judge is a savage. Accordingly, it is ordered that the magistrate judge's report and recommendation is adopted and incorporated by reference in this order. Defendant's motion to dismiss is granted. All the claims in the Second Amendment complaint are dismissed with prejudice, and the clerk shall close the case file. Done and ordered. T. Kent Weatherall, United States District Judge. Dismissed with prejudice. Dismissed with prejudice. Kent just got owned, dude. And Kent, he spent years going back and forth with the judge, with the magistrate, with the court clerk. Like, it's since like 2019, I think. Maybe even earlier. But yeah, I want you to smash that like button like the judge smashed this fucking case, smashed the gavel down. Okay? Smash the like button with prejudice. Because this is hilarious. Like, I was looking on one of these legal sites that listed every single document in this case, in the back and forth between Hovind, the clerk, the magistrate, the judge, and it was actually a different judge that had this earlier, and it lists it in chronological order, and it was back and forth, and even after the judge dismissed this, they can't try to submit this again. Like, he's such an idiot. Okay, so now we're going to look at this article by Peter Riley. Kent Hovind, $500 million lawsuit dies with a whimper. The drama that commenced just over a year ago when Kent Hovind and Paul Hansen, a trustee for CSE, filed a lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. And, okay, I just read this. And we know about Kent. We already know all this. We know all this. Hovind has also devoted a good bit of effort to overturning his conviction and being compensated for all the harm it caused him. This lawsuit was the most recent and arguably most spectacular attempt given the damages claimed. So one of the reasons that the judge said that this case was no good was they cited a previous case. So there was precedent, and courts are real big on precedent. When a precedent is set in a case, that can affect future cases for a long time. And it was I think it's something called the Heck Doctrine, or a case called Heck versus something. And I think basically what it says is that for what Kent is claiming, his case, the original case and the conviction, would have to be overturned before any of this could go through. For him to get paid compensation and get anything that he wants, the case has to be overturned first. And Kent saw this in the judge's reply and basically wrote back saying, oh, well, they never had jurisdiction in the first place. This whole stupid case is based on Kent thinking that the government doesn't have jurisdiction. It's so ridiculous, dude. And I love how Kent thinks that he wants to have his cake and eat it too, because he thinks he's not a U.S. citizen. He thinks the U.S. government didn't have jurisdiction when he was living in Florida under CSE, or to say that he was committing any crimes. But he also wants to have the benefits of being a U.S. citizen by having the Bill of Rights and the constitutional, the benefits of the Constitution. But at the same time, he doesn't want to pay taxes. Like, the entitlement blows my fucking mind. Yeah, there is no such thing as a sovereign citizen court. I mean, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Paul Paul Hansen's theory that he based the case on is that the jurisdiction of the federal government is extremely narrow. As far as I can tell, the idea is that since the Constitution gives the federal government exclusive jurisdiction over what would become the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., and land where there are forts, etc., it has no jurisdiction anywhere else except by contract. No. Judge Rogers never established that Hovind was subject to the authority of the federal government, so taking his stuff and locking him up was criminal. I have more on Hansen's theories here. Hansen claims that attorneys know that he is right, but are afraid to say so because they will get disbarred. Oh, Hansen also said that he was getting death threats and that people have died who have tried to fight the government and the IRS before. Hansen claims that attorneys, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is a quote from Hansen. It is of no surprise. This is a $1 billion issue. The U.S. does not want anyone to investigate the fact that the IRS or the USA cannot produce any factual written law evidence that Ken Hovind had any legal duty to collect any tax for the USA from any person with CSE Ministries for any year, even today. The reason why is that the Constitution bars them from such in multiple ways. We have asked the IRS, and they refuse to respond. This could branch into a suit like this one all by itself, possibly. I am working on a reconsideration motion now. Being that Kent had no legal duty, their entire case collapses as to every count/charge made in 2006. It is exculpatory in nature. A felony to conceal individually. Possibly we will force the court to make a declarative statement on these individual facts. All nexuses within the U.S. are contractual, consensual, requiring full disclosure. Peter, in America, we have ways of forcing disclosure as to duty. It is impossible for a U.S. administrator to evade apart from arrest if done properly. I'll likely be utilizing such tools soon. Okay. The magistrate's recommendation to grant summary judgment in favor of the defendants was based on 4 grounds. Hansen did not have standing on many of the claims. All the claims were barred by the statute of limitations. That's another thing. It's been too long. Next, there is the matter of sovereign immunity covering the United States and most of the individual defendants who were acting in their official capacity. And there were insufficient allegations that Hovind's attorney was acting under color of law. Finally, there is Supreme Court decision Heck versus Humphrey. Under that holding, in order to recover damages from an unlawful conviction, you'd have to show that it was, unlawful. Hovind's conviction was confirmed on appeal by the 11th Circuit, and an attempt to overturn it recently failed. Judge Wetherell did not find any merit in Hansen's response to the magistrate's recommendation. He was actually kind of harsh. So I read this earlier. And, okay, the next part, the rest of this article isn't anything good. It's just a quote from some fucking loser. Okay. So that's basically it, y'all. So Lori, well, thank you. It's not actually my video. I mean, I uploaded it, but one of my very beautiful and sexy patrons sent me a message linking me the video, and I just uploaded it to my channel because I figured it was too good not to share. But thank you. I do think it was a great video. So yeah, that's basically it. So I don't think that I missed anything. We went over the 2006 case, and we showed what Kent Hovind was guilty of and what he rightfully went to jail for. And then Kent got out, and then you fast forward to 2020, and Kent Hovind files a $500 million lawsuit against the government because he was pissed off that he went to jail and he had a bunch of his money and property taken by the government. And then I talked about why his lawsuit is bullshit and showed the judge basically blowing his case the fuck out. So Kent's lawsuit against Eric. I'm not sure about that. I believe that Kent's lawsuit against Eric was quote unquote filed in a sovereign citizen court. So it was never actually filed in a real court system. So I think that it basically just went nowhere. I don't think that Kent actually wanted to sue his son. I think he just wanted to make a public spectacle and just uh, harass Eric without having any actual repercussions. It's something that Kent loves to do. He loves to file frivolous lawsuits that he knows are not going to go anywhere. That's probably what he was doing here. And Kent has said in a video that he's going to keep fighting this case until he dies. You know, and this is something that I was thinking about today, and I feel like I should have called Kent out on this in our debate. Kent has said before that he's going to keep criticizing evolution and saying it's a religion until the day he dies. But I don't think he realizes what that means, because what that means is that he's admitting that no amount of evidence, nothing would ever change his mind and get him to admit that evolution is true. He's already decided, and we all know this. We know that Kent is going to keep repeating the same claims until the day that he finally fucking dies. And I'm just hoping that Kent lives long enough to see that the rapture or the end times or whatever it's called, like the prophecy of Daniel that he wrote his book, What on Earth is About to Happen? The prophecy of Daniel that he talked about. Okay, so I think for a little bonus, before I end the stream, we are going to look at Kent's book that he was nice enough to send me. Hold on one second. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, like the video if you haven't, guys. Okay, Chrome tab. Okay, this is going to be fun. Okay, so as a bonus for you guys sticking around in the stream, and BTFO stands for blown the fuck out. Yeah, so just to have a little bit of fun before I end the stream, we're going to look at Kent's book. Why on earth did God let this happen, for heaven's sake? Dear God, email. So this is when you're in prison and you're down on your knees in front of a mail. Prayers and writings to God and biblical characters during a 9-year unjust prison sentence in America. So I think what we are going to do is maybe look at the table of contents, and you guys can tell me which story you want me to read. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen. Can you guys read that text? Let me know. I don't know if any of you have seen my video where I read a selection of 3 stories from this book. But if you haven't, or if you want, I can read you one of the crazier stories from that book that is about Kent talking to a Muslim terrorist. So, do you guys just want me to read that one? Let me know in chat. Type 1 in chat if you want me to read the Muslim terrorist story. But I'm gonna scroll through these slowly. This is the story where Kent is talking to a Muslim terrorist right here. Blackjack Pershing. I can't trust in Jesus. Page 12. Kent and the Preacher Boy. Check the wedge. Okay, guys. Type 1 for Muslim terrorist and type 2 for preacher boy. I'll read them both. We'll just decide which I read first. Okay, so far we have 2 votes, so I need a tiebreaker. Oh, okay. Okay, so we have 1. You can't vote more than once. I don't know what 3 and 0 mean. No, it's not going to get me demonetized. Okay, so we're going to do the Preacher Boy story. Because Preacher Boy won. I don't know if it's going to be as interesting as the title suggests, but we'll see. Oh, and this book has some great artwork in it. Okay. Okay, zoom out. Kent and the Preacher Boy check the wedge. Dear Preacher Boy, son of a prophet. Excuse me there, son. What are you doing? I'm checking the wedge that holds my axe head on. I check it pretty often. Oh, why is that? I really learned my lesson yesterday, but you wouldn't believe the story if I told you. I still have a hard time believing it myself. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off to help the immersion. Try me. I love good stories, okay? Well, several of us preacher boys decided we need a bigger building for our prophet, Elisha, to hold classes in. It was so crowded in that little old building we had. We needed something bigger. Elisha is a great man of God, and lots of young men feel called to train under him. We decided to locate the new school near Jordan. Everyone pitched in and worked on building it. I was cutting down a tree when this axe head right here flew off into the Jordan River. Who on earth swam down to find it? The Jordan is muddy during most of the year. How could you ever find an axe head in a river like that, Hovind? That's the part you won't believe. I felt the axe head get lighter, and I knew that something was wrong. When I noticed the axe head plop into the river, I felt sick. It wasn't even my axe. I had borrowed it. If I had only checked the wedge that holds it on, it never would have happened. Anyway, I was faced with a choice. I knew no one else had seen what happened, so I could have kept swinging the axe handle and pretending I was cutting. No one would have known, or I could admit I had lost it. The axe handle would make a lot of noise, but would never cut the tree. Was your goal to cut the tree or fool the others into thinking you were getting something done? Okay. I know it seems silly, but for a moment, I thought about pretending I still had the power. Lots of people still do that today. They go through all the motions and make a lot of noise, okay? But really, they have lost their cutting edge. Well, I knew I had lost mine, and I knew exactly where I had lost it. It was embarrassing. I had lost it simply because I didn't check the wedge once in a while. So what did you do? Hold on. First, I called the man of God and admitted I had lost it. Then I showed him the place. Boy, what a great lesson. Many people today lose their power with God and even know where they lost it but won't admit it. Okay, all right. They can point to the very place where they lost it. Often it is real simple, like watching bad stuff on TV or DVD. Hovind, what's a TV or DVD? Never mind, that would take a while to explain to you. Anyway, what did Elisha do about it, Hovind? He cut down a stick and threw it into the spot I pointed out, and the axe head swam back to me. Do you mean it floated up to the top of the water, Hovind? No, man, it swam. The piece of iron swam? Now you're fucking with me. I told you that you would not believe it. Did it jump back on your handle too, Hovind? No, I had to pick it up and put it on. That's why I'm checking the wedge now. I check the wedge over and over again. I don't want to lose it ever again. I think God is teaching us that when we lose our power with God, we need him to bring the cross into our lives, and he will magically restore our power with Hovind. What's the cross? Oh, that's right. You're BC, aren't you? What's BC? You don't make much sense. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll explain later in heaven when you die. Anyway, you got your cutting edge back. Did you finish the tree? Okay. Oh, yes, and started another one. I don't have Kent on my stream. It's all an illusion. How often do you check the wedge? Real often now. I check the wedge all the time, Kent. Oh, my birthday is in 5 days. You want to come over to my house and show me how you check the wedge? That's that's one of the days I use every year to really evaluate my life and check all the wedges in all 4 areas of life. What are the 4 areas to check? Well, Joseph and Mary went a whole day without checking the wedge. I mean, without Jesus, and didn't even know he was gone. He was off checking his wedge. Without him, we can do nothing. Hovind. Who? I'm sorry, I forgot. You're BC. I mean the Messiah. What the fuck does BC mean? Jesus is the Messiah, and Hovind is our example. Just trust me on that one. Jesus increased in wisdom. That's the mental area of life. He increased in stature. That's the physical area. That's my favorite. He increased in favor with God. That's the spiritual area. He increased in favor with man. That's the social area. I make it to a practice several times each year to check myself in all 4 of my areas to see if I need to tighten up so I don't fly off the handle. We can lose the cutting edge so easily, especially if we are real busy. Hovind. Today, with cars, TV, internet, grinder, and cell phones, it's really easy to lose our power and keep going through the motions like nothing is even wrong. TV, cell phones, BC. You're making no fucking sense, Kent. I think I'll go finish my tree, asshole. Great idea. Tell Elisha I said hi. Okay. And remember, God's got your back. The context for the story? Well, basically, what Nemail means is that when Kent is in jail, God comes and talks to him, and then God allows Kent to go and talk to any biblical character. I think BC means before Christ, I think, because he's saying the guy doesn't know about Jesus yet. Nemail basically just allows Kent to talk to any biblical character, and basically the stories that Kent wrote are just him talking to a biblical character, and he makes the same joke in every story where he mentions something like, oh, TVs, cell phones, and the biblical person is like, what's a TV? Oh, and he's like, oh, I'll explain that later. He seriously makes that joke over and over and over again. It's so annoying. Okay, it's time for my favorite story. Yeah, but that story got really gay really fast. Okay, so I'm going to read Blackjack Pershing, I Can't Trust in Jesus, and then that's going to be the end of the stream. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I think you'll like this next. I thank you for picking that story, Bob Sadler, because I enjoyed reading that one. Oh, let's look at some of this interesting artwork. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, do you guys? Uh, I think I'm just going to keep scrolling. I don't know what this picture symbolizes. Yeah. Okay. Page 54. Oh wow, there's a story about the closet. This story. That drawing is Kent literally in the closet. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Okay. Blackjack Pershing. I can't trust in Jesus. Now, this story is Kent Hovind uh, talking to a Muslim terrorist, and yeah, I'm not going to do an accent for the Muslim terrorist. So, dear Muslim terrorist, whoa there, fella, you look totally terror stricken. Why are you running through the jungle screaming and crying? What happened? And I see what you did there, Kent. Terror stricken. I'm going to make sure you guys can read the text. Oh, okay. Oh, it was awful. It wasn't supposed to end this way. We, the Muslims, are supposed to be the ones doing the terrorizing, not the Americans. I can't believe this happened. I've got to warn the others. Wait, calm down for a second. What made you so scared? Okay. I can't believe what he did. It was awful. What who did? That infidel American general they call Blackjack Pershing. He came here to the Philippines in 1899 to fight with us. Oh, it was so awful. I've got to warn the others. Oh, Tangelo, what is the purpose of this stream? Um, Whatever the fuck I want it to be. Wait a second. What did he do? Well, we have been killing villagers and Americans for a while now. Everyone was scared of us. That's how it's supposed to be. You see, if we Muslims die in a holy war killing Jews or Christians, we get to go straight to paradise and get 72 beautiful virgins as wives. But now, oh, this is awful. I've got to go warn my friends about what happened. So what happened? 24 of us Muslims were captured yesterday by the Americans. They tied us all to stakes to execute us. We were so excited to be martyrs in a jihad. That's the only way to be sure of going to paradise. Then Pershing did the unthinkable. It was awful. Oh, what did he do? While we were tied up waiting to be martyred and go to paradise, his soldiers dug a big pit in front of us, killed a pig, dipped their bullets in the pig's blood, and shot everyone but me. All of their bodies were put in the pit, and the pig's blood was poured over them. It was awful. Then the soldiers threw the dead pig in the pit and buried them all together. So, what's wrong with that? You said that they all thought they were going to paradise, Hovind. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just murder. Don't you see? Our religion teaches that anyone who eats or even touches anything from a pig is damned to hell forever. Those men should be in paradise right now. Oh. Whoops. Hold on. Gosh dang it. But Pershing sent them all to hell. I can almost hear their screams. I've got to go warn the others. Wait! Pershing didn't send those men to hell, and neither did the pig's blood, okay? Jesus Christ was God in the flesh. He died on the cross to forgive our sins. Believe on him and be saved. Jesus didn't die on a cross. They killed someone else who looked like Jesus. Whoever taught you that was lying, Govt. God created the world and came down to save us.
Jesus' blood is the only way to be forgiven, not your works. You can be saved and set free from your hatred, from your hated, fear, and superstition right now by calling on Hovind for salvation. I can't do that. My family would kill me. Oh, what can I do? How can I tell the families of those poor men? General Pershing dipped one last bullet in the blood and put it in my shirt pocket before he cut me loose. I'm afraid to touch it. Would you get it out for me, please? No. You'd better show it to your friends, Sovereign. If you will not trust Christ, maybe that bullet will at least stop you from being a terrorist, you asshole. Oh, I'm terrorized now. I'll never get anywhere near another U.S. soldier as long as I live. I have to go and warn the others. Ah, it's awful. I can't believe it. Oh, God, please help these poor souls to come to the truth before it's too late.
Many have come to the truth, and more will come, son. Stay faithful to me. I've got your back.
Well, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Tangelo's in timeout. Nobody comes into my stream and tries to ruin my fun. So fuck off, Otangelo. See you guys later. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to see the next time that I go live for a stream or right when I upload a new video.